There was a decision made in the heavens, and 3 men were given the opportunity to come back to earth for a tour. The first plane lands in Rome. A well-dressed man comes out, Julius Caesar, the Caesar of Rome. "How is the Roman Empire doing?" he asks the attendant. "Well, there hasn't been a Roman Empire in 1500 years. Credit to Constantine. Rome is a city now." "A city? Where?" "In Italy." "Take me to my gladiators. For $7 I can show you the remnants." "Take me to the Colosseum. For $6 I'll show you the excavations," says the attendant. "I want to see the steps of the Senate, where I uttered my last words, Et tu, Brute, when I was stabbed." "There is no Senate. There is no steps of the Senate." "Take me to my gymnasium. For $9.50 I will show you the remnants." "Are people still frightened from the word Rome?" "Not really." "So what are we famous for?" "Pasta and pizza." "Take me to Venice." "We don't worship Venice anymore. We have the Vatican." "What is the Vatican?" "Catholicism. You never heard of the Pope?" "Everything has changed," says Julius Caesar. "Get me out of here." The second plane lands in Athens, Greece, and an old man comes out, Socrates. An entourage meets him and he requests of them to take him to the Acropolis. They said, "For $8 we can take you to the remnants of the Acropolis." "Take me to Zeus." "We don't worship Zeus anymore," they tell him. "We have the Greek Orthodox Church." "How is Greek philosophy doing? Tell me. Are people studying Aristotle, Plato, my student?" "A few professors," were their response. "It's obsolete." "So what do you talk about in the cafes?" "Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat." "What about the Greek Empire?" "Well, they are barely a country and we wonder if their economy will ever survive." "You mean when people hear Greece they don't tremble?" "No." "Why don't you speak the language of ancient Greeks anymore?" He asked them. "Get me out of this place. This is not my Athens," says Socrates. The last plane lands in Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv. An old, dark-skinned man comes out, Moshe Rabbi, Moses our teacher. He asks the flight attendant, "Where are the descendants of the people whom I took out of Egypt and brought them to the borders of this land? Because they did not keep the Torah you gave them, the land vomited them out, like you warned in Leviticus 18:28. Take me where they migrated to." He gets back into the airplane and lands at the Kotoka International Airport in Ghana, and he's met by the Ga and Ewe chiefs. The Wulama, decked in all white with no shoes on, steps out with 2 bottles of alcohol and begins pouring libation. "You still do this, the wine offering?" "Of course. You have preserved the instructions I gave you about the priests?" "Yes, we have." He's taken to Gamashi and he witnesses the Passover, the red clay on the doorpost, people coming to their paternal homes. He comes into the compound of the Wulama and notices a small building and he inquires, "What is it?" "The Batru, the house of prophecy, where the priest goes in to hear from Matananu, Okuleje, Shiche, Bono, Maui." He goes next door and finds a baby laying on the floor naked, with family members sitting around, and it looks very familiar to him. "Is this what I think it is?" he asks. "An 8-day circumcision?" "Yes, sir." Tears fill his eyes. He turns to his guide and asks, "What about the ancient tongue I wrote in? Has that also been preserved as Isaiah spoke about?" "Let's find out," says the attendant. He brings him to the Fushidi shrine of the Eves, and there the ancient symbols and tongue, Evegbe. Then he gets to witness the reenactment of the Exodus by the Eves, which is performed yearly. "When we were flying in, I saw on the coast some pretty huge structures. What were they? I want to go see them." So he's brought to the huge structures and he reads a plaque on the wall. "In everlasting memory to the anguish of our ancestors, May those who died rest in peace. May those who return find their root. May humanity never again perpetuate such injustice against humanity. We the living vow to uphold this. Can you explain this? These were the holding cells for our Hebrew relatives who have been scattered to the four corners of the world. We will find them in the Americas, the Caribbean, Europe, Asia, explains the attendant. You see, the Egyptians, Babylonians, the Persians, they rose, filled the planet with sound and splendor, then faded and passed away. The Greeks and the Romans followed and made a vast noise, and they are gone. Other people have sprung up and held their torches high for a time, but it burnt out and they sit in twilight or have vanished. The Hebrews saw them all, beat them all, and is now what we are always, exhibiting no decadence, no infirmities of age, no weakening of his parts, no slowing of his energies, no dulling of his alert and aggressive mind. All other forces passed, but we still remain. We are the ancient Eves, the ancient Hebrews. Tra, Omanye Abak.